Good morning and Shabbat Shalom. Today I'm going to go over with you a flag routine for Paul Wilbur's Praise Adonai. This is not a dance and flag routine, this is just strictly a flag routine. So you will need a set of flags to learn this sequence or to perform it. I'm going to show you the 4 parts that are in it. We're going to go from the beginning all the way, the first part all the way to the last part. Okay, so part 1 is going to be the intro, and the intro is a revised 4 corners. The original 4 corners that I learned just basically went forward and back as it switched sides. This 4 corners I revised because I wanted to travel to all 4 corners. And it's a wonderful start to the song because the song is about praising Adonai. It is a call to praise Adonai. So what you want to do is you want to express that with the flags. You want to express going out into the 4 corners of the world and gathering the peoples to come and praise Adonai. Okay, so that's how we're going to get started. And I'll walk you through that set of movements, okay? So this new 4 corners that I have come up with, we're going to start going forward. And we're going to do a side pinwheel, 2 of them forward, and then coming back into the center. And we're pretty much going to do that with all 4 sides, okay? So starting towards the front, I'm sideways, 2 side pinwheels, and back to center. Okay, when I come back to center, I'm going to pivot so I can go back to the opposite direction, okay? So back, center. Okay, I'm pivoting. My back is going to be towards the front, so I can go to what was originally my left. Okay, pivot. All right, so now you have traveled in all 4 corners, and you've gathered the people to come and praise Adonai, okay? And when we stop that set of movements, we are right here, and we're right in the position where we need to be to start part 2, which is the verse, okay? So the verse is going to start with a set of movements that I learned to be called Elohai. And Elohai starts with the left, and it goes to the right. Your arms will follow over to the right eventually. And you're going to do turns, or basically, you're going to do some turns. So you're going to start with this outer hand, and it's going to do 2 turns in. All right, raise both hands up to a victory, and or into to a V, and then you'll do this left hand, right hand. Both hands come to the right. Now this outer hand is no longer the left, but now it's the right. It's now the left, and it's going to do 2 in. Okay, so that's all of Elohai. And after you're done doing Elohai, you're going to do what's called a Nisi. And Nisi is just a swirl in the bottom. It's like a figure 8. Okay, it starts here and back around. All right. And at this point in time in the song, Paul Wilbur is saying he's seated on the throne. Okay, so here's his seat, and he's seated on the throne. And we're going to end up doing it Adonai. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what Adonai looks like. All right, so here's the Nisi to Adonai. All right, seated on the throne. Okay, and that is half of part 2. The other half of part 2, mountains bow down, every nation roars to the Lord of hosts. Okay, so mountains bow down. This is a set of movements that is called prayer. Or I believe it's called prayer. It is a victory, wing, and back pinwheel, okay? So this is like a mountain movement, okay? So mountains bow down, all right? Get on your knees and put those flags on the ground. Those mountains bow down. This song is interpretive with the flags. That's one thing I love about flagging is that since you're using your hands, you get to let it be interpretive. And I really, really like to express as much as I can and be a tool of worship myself whenever I'm using flags, okay? So mountains bow down. All right, so from here, you're going to do a reverse pinwheel so that way as you're standing up. So it's going to be a reverse pinwheel. All right, every nation roars to the Lord of hosts. So we're going to do a roaring movement, like a water movement with the flags. I've done this before with the other flag choreography that I have on my videos for another Paul Wilbur song, Nobody Like You. And so that water roaring movement is like this, okay? So every nation roars. It's like the water's roaring. All right, to the Lord of hosts. Okay, so we're going to end with Adonai to the Lord of hosts. All right, so that's all of part 2. Part 3 is going to be praise Adonai. It's the chorus. All right, so we're going to start off. When I think about praising Adonai, I think about raising my hands. So I want to do that with the flags. Okay, so we're going to do a hora step going forward as we are waving our hands. Okay, so I'm going to show you what that looks like. We're going to do 4 of them. All right, so praise Adonai. Okay, so you have made it forward. Now what you're going to do, from the rising of the sun, you're going to take your flags and you're going to do a back pinwheel, push in and up. From the rising of the sun to the end of every day, you're going to back down as you put the flags down, okay? The day is ending, the sun is setting. All right? From the rising of the sun to the end of every day. And actually, that's the reason why I decided to go with gold for this flag routine, because it resembled a bright colored, close to the sun. I do have yellow silk, I just haven't put them together in flags yet. That would have probably been a better color. So anyway, that is all of part 3. So that one's pretty simple. Part 4 is going to be the second half of the instrumental. The first half of the instrumental is the same as the intro, which was the 4 corners that moved to the 4 corners of the room. All right, the second half of it, and actually it's going to start with that, and you're going to know when it ends, because that part in the instrumental is it's just the guitar solo. Okay, so the guitar, does a solo for a little bit, and then after that, the rest of the instruments pick back in. So when the rest of the instruments pick back in, we're going to go moving on to part 4. Part 4 is called Candlestick. And if you remember, with 4 corners, you ended here. Okay, so with Candlestick, you're just going to do a windmill as you turn and pivot and keep your back facing towards the outside, all right? And then you're going to do 2 windmill steps before you pivot again. I'm going to show you what that looks like. All right, so you're right here, and you're going to do this. Now here's 2 steps before you pivot windmill, okay? And then we'll reverse that. Pivot, 2 steps, pivot, windmill. All right, so that is part 4. I have just showed you all 4 parts, and I hope that it wasn't too fast for you. Considering that there are 4 parts, I figured I'd probably have to demo pretty much the whole song for you, and I wanted to keep the video pretty short. So if you are confused in anything, please go ahead and go back into the videos until you get it. Otherwise, I will see you for the demo.